Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. The cruiserweight king Oleksandr Usyk has been rewarded by the WBA in its latest heavyweight rankings update, with Usyk vaulting to near top spot in the latest heavyweight rankings. Andy Ruiz Jr., who looks set to fight Anthony Joshua, he's also been rewarded up half a dozen places, and the big loser in this rankings update is Jarrell Miller. He is out altogether, and for obvious reasons, and we'll get to that shortly, so buckle in. Let's go. So we'll start at the top there. Trevor Bryan, he is at number one spot. He's been there for a number of months. He holds an interim world title. He got that against BJ Flores in 2018. Has not fought since. At number two, the big winner in this rankings update is Oleksandr Usyk. He will be facing Carlos Takam on May 25th. That will be his first fight at heavyweight. So the WBA has seen fit to reward its cruiserweight champion Usyk at number two in this rankings update. And that may surprise some because obviously he hasn't fought at heavyweight yet, but obviously the WBA is rewarding him for his efforts at cruiserweight to some extent here, because it can only be that because he's got no pedigree or resume at heavyweight to date. But at number three, Fraser Kendo, the eternal number three spot, Fraser Kendo, he is owed a title shot after winning a court order. He didn't face Jarrell Miller. Perhaps that was lucky for him. He could have fought Miller, but decided that that wasn't an option. In hindsight, a good move because he wanted some VADA testing for that. So, you got to say that was a good call by Fraser Kendo, but he has been out of the ring for a number of years now. He has not had that title shot, and he is, 46 years old now. So who knows what's going to happen with Fraser Kendo after he didn't take a fight with Manuel Chow, which was recently ordered. That was meant to have happened in March. I expected the WBA was going to take some action or do something, and maybe there is some wheels spinning behind the scenes here on this whole situation, but Fraser Kendo, it is just the eternal spot at number three, and that needs to be tidied up. Something needs to happen. He either needs to fight or drop out altogether, so who knows what is going to happen there. At number four is Is Dilly and White. There is no change. He was number four last month, and he's got a fight against Oscar Rivas in July. So that's quite a good fight here. It's hard for him, by the look of it, to get any more traction in the WBA, with Fraser Kendo seemingly just, immovable at number three. Trevor Bryan immovable for the moment at number one due to his interim world title status. And now Oleksandr Usyk vaults straight into number two above Dilly and White, who Dilly and White has actually basically dismissed Usyk as someone that has no pedigree and he would be able to easily beat him, and says, who is Oleksandr Usyk? At number five is the other big winner in this rankings update is Andy Ruiz Jr. He was number 11 last month, so he's up half a dozen places. And in part, I think we can put some of that down to his recent win against Alexander Dimitrenko, but I don't think all of that is responsible for him going up 6 places. That's quite a big move for the WBA. But I think some of it will also be that he looks set to face Anthony Joshua. All the rumours, all the talk is basically that is a done deal, soon to be announced. So Ruiz Jr. up 6 places to number 5. And him being at number 5 sounds a bit better than Joshua facing the WBA number 11 contender. So I think there are a few things around optics, and facing the 5th ranked contender in the WBA just has a better ring to it. At number 6, Otto Warren, he drops 1 place. He was number 5 last month. He did have a fight, but it was a no contest to Nick Kisner. Number 7, Sergey Kuzmin, no change. At number 8, we have Oscar Rivas. He's down 2 places this month. Hard to know why some people are up 1 or 2 or down 1 or 2, and then obviously Ruiz climbs 6. There seems to be no real rhyme or reason to this, and Rivas, he obviously had his most recent fight. That was against Bryant Jennings earlier this year. At number 9, we have Filip Hrgovic. He has a fight scheduled coming up on May 25th on the Usyk undercard. Number 10, Alexander Povetkin. He drops 1 spot, I should say. Number 11, Kyotaru Fujimoto, he's down 1. At number 12, Michael Hunter, Adam Kovnatsky at 13, Bogdan Dinu number 14, and Ivan Daichko at 15. They are all the same as they were last month. Hunter, he was set to be in the running to face Joshua, a favourite at one point, but seemingly that has fallen by the wayside. Whether that was about money, who knows? Adam Kovnatsky, he has said that he has got a fight coming up in summer. It'll be interesting to see who that will be against. Bogdan Dinu, I still don't know how he is remaining in the rankings here. He's at 14. He's had 2 losses on the trot and hasn't fought anyone else before that for about 18 months. So it beggars belief that he's still there. And Ivan Dochko at the tail end of the rankings there. I still scratch my head. He's got a fight coming up, but he hasn't fought since July 18 and somehow is at 15 in the WBA. But apparently you don't need to be fighting to get ranked in the WBA. Oleksandr Usyk demonstrating that at number 2. The big loser in the rankings, though, was Jarrell Miller. He's been banned for 6 months. He'll have to undergo testing to get back into the rankings, show some results from the random testing. And yeah, this whole situation with Miller out of the rankings, it's not surprising because I think many of us just expected that was going to happen. The WBO dumped him from their rankings just a week ago, and now he's out of the WBA, but with just a 6-month ban. But his loss is Oleksandr Usyk's gain. They were going to have to plug him in somewhere in the rankings, and they've decided, let's put him at number 2. And given the churn at the top of the WBA rankings is quite low, you have these guys like Trevor Bryan, Fraser Kendo, Dilly and White sort of remaining in that sort of top 4 or 5 for some considerable months. Oleksandr Usyk probably is going to go nowhere if he beats Carlos Takam on May 25th. So it's interesting that they've decided just to put Usyk right there at the top, swapping Miller out for Usyk. And yeah, Jarrell Miller, yeah, it's his loss, but Usyk's gain. What do you make of it? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.